But the next big movie is the Snyder cut of Justice League.
Not gonna lie, you probably should have left that to the end because we probably have a lot to say about that.
No, because we got a lot to say about a lot of stuff. But anyway,
Do we?
I do. How do we feel about the Snyder cut of Justice League?
Well,
It's
you
a waste
know,
of time. You shouldn't be doing it. What's the point?
was there
Right.
another version of Justice League? Really?
Well, there was really just a 2-hour trailer, wasn't there?
In a way, okay. So first of all, how did you feel when you saw the Justice League theatrical cut?
The Justice League. Is that the one? What is they call it?
The Justice League.
I'm just gonna, because I think there's okay, don't get me wrong.
There was more hands in fucking.
There was more hands than just Joss Whedon.
Yeah.
I know. I'm not saying Joss Whedon didn't make bad choices. I think he did, but I do think a lot of people are pitting the whole thing on just him, and I don't think it's just him.
No, it's definitely not just him. But
I hear what you're saying.
Was still a pile of fucking garbage.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Green Lantern, but from all the comic book movies I've seen, which is a lot, it is the worst one I've ever seen.
Right.
Definitely.
What bothered me was that it got higher review ratings than Batman vs Superman and Suicide Squad. And I was like, this is clearly a movie.
Yeah.
This is, whether you like those movies or not, unless I'm not saying you have to like them. Like, if you hate them, that's fine. But the fact that movie was more highly rated. And I even saw some reviewers at the time saying, look, DC are going in the right direction now. And I was like, they're so not. I was like, this film was a mess. For a lot of reasons. But that whole keeping it tightly to a 2-hour mark.
Stupid,
butchered the film. This is the Justice League, their first time ever on the big screen. Why would you be adamant about keeping that a short movie?
Yeah.
Makes no sense to me. This should have been a big Lord of the Rings fucking event. Like Avengers got a 2.5-hour fucking movie. They got the extravaganza.
Yeah.
Why would you not want that?
They got 4 films as well.
As a result. Like, if the first one flopped, it might not have, but the first one did really well because they fucking went for it. I don't know why they were adamant about really interfering with Justice League, but I'm very happy that this Snyder cut is coming.
Yeah, at first I was kind of like, I didn't want to get excited or have any expectations for it at all. Like, to a point that I didn't really care if it was coming out. But after seeing that clip, I'm just so fucking excited for it. Like, ridiculously excited for it. I've said before that I fucking love Batman vs Superman. It's actually one of my favorite superhero films. It's just, which is odd to say that in fucking public, because it's almost like as if, I don't know, name the worst fascist dictator and say you're a fan of him. It's almost been pitted up as that in terms of equivalence. Like, it gets so shat on, and if you say that you like it, you get shat on as well.
If you want to get in touch to shit on Adam, you can contact us at
But I do love it, and I don't care if other people hate it. That's fine. I don't really care. There's
I do.
There's loads of films that other people love and I dislike, and I think that's totally fine. But now I finally get a conclusion to this series of films, like Man of Steel, BVS, and now the Justice League is finally going to have a conclusion. It feels
like, even though there is a continuity that's going on beyond it or whatever, it feels like this is sort of, those 3 movies now will be the Snyder DC trilogy, doesn't it? It starts with Superman.
And it's almost like
it becomes the Justice League.
And it's almost like if you take any run of a comic, like if you look at like Frank Miller's Batman series.
Yeah.
It's standalone. It's like, it takes, threads from other existing Batman stories, but that's its own thing. And we can say that a lot about a lot of different writers, and like Grant Morrison writing stuff as well. Like, that's his own thing, and that's what this is now. And that's why I'm really looking forward to this, is that it doesn't have to tailor to a larger universe anymore. It doesn't have to even tailor to the WB like executives.
No. Yeah.
It only it has to serve one purpose, and that is to the existing fans, because they're the guys who got this up and running. So he doesn't even have to try and please all the haters.
No.
He doesn't have to please anyone other than finishing his story and delivering it to the fans that wanted it. And I think that's like, this is so unique. I don't think this has ever happened in the film industry.
This is like the ultimate justice for all the fans who got chat on.
Well, it is when you think about it, like, it is crazy that, because this wouldn't exist if not for that release the Snyder Cut movement
campaign,
right?
Yeah.
Which, like, I thought was just a hashtag. If I'm being honest, I didn't follow it that closely. I know there was like people who followed very closely got little snippets and bits of information from Zack Snyder as well, and we're kind of sharing around it. Oh, this is what was supposed to happen, and this was supposed to be in it. And I was like, at times, to be honest, I was like, I don't really care. Not that I don't care, but I was like, it's no good to me knowing what could have been, because I just disappointed with what was. And now knowing that it's coming, I'm kind of glad I missed out on all that, because like, oh, cool, there's got to be surprises for me personally. I know if you probably search, you can probably find a lot of that stuff, but there's still going to be some surprises in this movie for me. But yeah,
I think a few actors that were doing the Marvel films were even spreading that hashtag release the Snyder Cut as well. Like, it actually did become a massive movement across the entire internet.
Yeah.
Also a lot of people were calling them man babies and stuff. There's a lot of insults being thrown around as well.
Look, there always is. The internet's a lovely place to share your opinions, I think. But the
thing that got me most excited was the sad.
Yes.
So at first I was like, okay, cool. Then I saw the sad, and I was like, fucking the sad's in.
I
He's
know.
Going all
I said
fucking
that as well.
out.
I was like, holy shit, the sad's in this as well. I was like, fuck.
I even like Steppenwolf's redesign.
Well, it looks like
which is the original design.
Yeah, the one at the end of Batman v Superman, like the proper version of the movie. Yeah. It's like they're like the vision was there, you know.
And there's not a single clip in that entire trailer. There's not a single clip that was in the theatrical version. That's all new.
Yeah.
There may be one or two that are slightly similar, but everything else is brand new. Well, not new. It's stuff that was originally shot, but that was never in the theatrical version.
Yeah.
So it just goes to show, like, it's a completely different film. Like,
yeah, there's a whole different movie there. Like, even like, because people then asked him, they had questions. They were like, so is the Flash going to be in this movie more? He was like, yeah, the Flash is in this much more and actually plays a very pivotal role. Is Cyborg going to be in it more? Yeah, Cyborg is actually the heart and soul of the movie. And it's like, wow, like, because they played very fucking minor roles in a way in the actual movie.
What he was saying about the Flash has me really, really excited, because it does sound like, because obviously there's that in BVS, there's the nightmare sequence, which in context didn't really mean anything. It was obviously supposed to be for Justice League.
Yeah.
But it is the Flash dealing with time travel to try and, I think that nightmare sequence is going to actually happen, and they're going to have to try and revert it.
I do as well. I think they're going to lose in this movie first. And then the Flash will go back in time and warn everyone or something like that. And that'll be the first time he uses that ability, which will then lead to his movie. Knowing that he can do that, what else can he change? And he'll learn that doing that actually is a bad idea or something like that. But I do hope, if I'm being totally honest, I do hope that some of the CGI is tidied up a bit more. I personally thought that opening shot of Darkseid wasn't very strong.
No, it wasn't good.
I was like, I don't know if that's because now he's working with maybe a possibly more limited budget. But I was like, I think that Darkseid doesn't look finished to the quality that Zack Snyder, like, because I think, like, you can complain about the director all you want, but you can't say he's not stylish. That's, you know,
he's
like,
definitely got
people's
style.
main criticism about him is he's style over.
Too style.
I don't agree with that. I think actually there's a lot of substance if you want to just read into it, but I do think that some of those little scenes or clips looked like they weren't finished yet. But maybe they're not, and maybe it was just, I just want to show you that this exists and that this stuff is going to be in it. But directly after that, they showed a desert sequence with a Justice League sign crumbled and parademons flying, and I was like, that's the fucking nightmare thing, right? That's going to happen. The Justice League are going to lose first, or there's going to be some broken future where Darkseid runs the world. I was like, that's fucking cool. I want to see that.
Yeah, you want to see what we got, what we didn't get. Like, that's what you want to see.
Absolutely. I want to see a fucking movie of the Justice.
I love even there's a bit where, again, it's very Zack Snyder in his shot. Not just the bit where Victor Stone is doing the baseball thing, but when he's Cyborg at the gravestone,
I was
he's,
just
like,
about to mention that.
beating the ground. I was like,
Yeah,
this is fucking yes.
the color tone
Yeah.
and the CGI. Like, I actually, oddly enough, really like the CGI in this.
Okay.
There isn't a sense of realism to the CGI. I agree with that,
Mhm.
but it kind of reminds me of 300.
All right, okay.
And that grave sequence really reminds me of that. It's like the background is very CGI'd, but in a stylized way that it almost looks like a comic panel.
Oh, I agree that shot looked amazing.
And it's really weird. But I really want my comic book movies to look like comic books, I guess.
What?
But
Dude, are you fucking crazy?
And he's the only director that seems to really push towards that. You know, in all of his shit, like, it actually does look like clip. Like, people complain about his slow mo, but the slow mo is again, it's stepping into that comic book, like making a still frame. It's like, you know, that's what he's trying to do, is like bring a comic book to life. And when you compare the two versions, the version that we got and the clips from this trailer, there's just the overall color tones and everything in this, like, just look stunning. They look like 300 basically.
Yeah, when you send us that comparison video as well, actually, and it has the song Hallelujah, when listening to the second time, that song actually is so beautiful to the trailer.
Yeah, especially when, you know, the bit where Cyborg is like, it looks like he's kind of injured, flashes behind him, but just the beat.
There's good strings there and the beat is there.
Yeah.
I think it's edited well together. For me personally, finally seeing the footage, I felt the song was a little bit boring, even though I both appreciate and don't appreciate it. I appreciate it because I'm like, that's the song he used in Watchmen. He's kind of saying, this is my version that you're getting. It's also Hallelujah, as in we're finally getting it.
Well, supposedly it was played at his daughter's funeral.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
That's
all the deep cuts.
That's deep. Now I feel bad about saying the song was boring. I
think there was some sort of connection because obviously this film as well, the whole movement, there's a huge drive, like there all the kind of funding for it and everything is going towards suicide prevention and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So as a project, it is kind of that shit happened to him and his family, and they're wanting to do something positive with it, which was create this for the fans, basically.
Yeah, and I think there's got to be like dark turns in it, and then it will ultimately end with a happy, bright, hopeful ending, which in a way the film might as a journey represent what he's been through mentally, which might not have been the intention in the first place, but as a result of, because if you're editing after the fact, even though the footage is already shot, the way you edit something can,
really change the tone.
I might be reading into it too much, but he has talked about how this has meant a lot to him. I just think about people like Mike Shinoda from Linkin Park, for example, after Chester passed, and him making music and making art with fans to help him through it and to help the fans through it. It's like a grieving process together through art. So that's really awesome. I'm super excited for it. It's going to be 4 hours long. Holy fuck. Now, it's releasing 1 hour segments at a time first on HBO Max. And then he said they want to release a version where you can watch it all as one movie, but that'll come after the fact because obviously to get this out at all, HBO Max do have to have kind of a...
Yeah. But I'm wondering, is HBO Max available outside the US?
You see, he said because it's not available worldwide and it wanted to get out worldwide, they're working on a way to do that. Which to me says there's going to be a DVD or Blu-ray release. There has also been talks that there's going to be a black and white version of the movie.
Also, the aspect ratio.
I don't know what that means, but cool.
The aspect ratio is different.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's like I don't know.
19:6?
No, it's like almost like a 2:1 almost aspect ratio. It's kind of square. Do you notice that in the trailer?
Yeah. I didn't really notice that, no. My bad.
So if you've watched the trailer for the Snyder Cut of Justice League, again, let us know. What are your thoughts on it? Maybe you're not excited for it at all. Maybe you don't like Snyder's vision, or maybe you're someone who was really behind the whole movement, or maybe you're someone who just saw it now and went, okay, now I'm on board. I'm excited for this. Let us know what you think.